Welcome to Fireside Chat. My name is Sai. You might be making these mistakes with your 401k, and I want to make sure you're on the right track with your retirement plan. The first mistake many people make with their 401k plan is leaving free money on the table. The step 3 of our FIRE checklist is to contribute your retirement plan up to the employer match. If you don't know whether you qualify for an employer match, you need to contact your HR department right away. If your employer does offer a match and you skip your personal contributions, then you're leaving free money or a bonus on the table that could be worth tens of thousands of dollars in the future. For example, your employer might match 50% of your personal contribution, like at 5 or 6%. If you contribute 6% to the 401k, then your employer may contribute 3% of your annual gross income. So let's say you make $100,000 a year in gross. Your employer offers 50% of your 6%, then your personal contribution would be $6,000 a year and $3,000 from your employer. If you're contributing the maximum amount at $20,500, then that $3,000 from your employer does not count towards your personal contribution. So you could be saving $23,500 total for the calendar year 2022. Let me also break down that $3,000 from the example that I just gave you. Keep in mind that any of your employer contribution is considered pre-tax, so it will go to into your traditional 401k account. Let's say you work for the employer for 10 years and you got $3,000 every year, then that would be $30,000 in principal. If it's being invested into, let's say, a S&P 500 index fund with 8% average annual return, that's about $52,000 total in 10 years. If you quit your job after 10 years and you leave that $52,000 in the 401k, and let's say for another 20 years, that's going to turn into over $250,000 with adjusted inflation. The next mistake a lot of people make with their 401k is not knowing the vesting schedule. You can't just take the company's employer match and then run off to another company. They want you to contribute your time with the company before you can take your portion of the employer match. The vesting schedule can be different from company to company. So the broker that manages your 401k will keep the employer match in a separate pot of money. Make sure you contact your HR to find out your vesting schedule. From my personal experience, my 401k had a match, but if I had quit my job under a year, then I wouldn't keep any of the employer match. If I quit after a year, but less than 2 years, it was about 25% of my employer match. If I quit between year 2 and year 3, then it was about 50%. So I had to work at the company for at least 5 years to be fully vested. So keep that in mind before you decide to quit your job. By the way, if you want to get our free FIRE resources, visit us at firesidechat.com/contact. Mistake number 3 people make with their 401k is investing in something with high expense ratio. The downside of the 401k is the limited investment options. A lot of them are actively managed mutual funds, and if you don't know the differences between actively managed funds and index funds, you can check out this 3-minute video and I'll link the video in the description below. Actively managed mutual funds have higher expense ratio than the index funds, and the broker could charge you for participant fees and other broker fees. This is why when I quit my job, I never leave my money in the 401k. It's much cheaper once I roll my money into a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. You need to be able to compare your investment options and their performances. Sometimes you might not have a choice but to buy the investment options that your employer gives you. Just keep in mind that many of the 401k plans are expensive because of the broker and administrative fees. Mistake number 4 people make with their 401k is not knowing what they're investing in. When you start working for a company, your employer will most likely auto-enroll you into the 401k plan and they'll allocate your investment for you. It's very typical to see your 401k maybe going into the target retirement fund unless you make the changes yourself. I did an extensive video on why target retirement funds will end up losing your money in the long term, so make sure to check that video out. As soon as you start your new job, or maybe you've been at this job for a while, log into your 401k account and find out what you're investing in. If you don't understand what you're investing, you can always contact us for a free financial coaching session. I can't tell you what to invest, but I can teach you what they are. This is a common problem I hear, that people are investing in something they don't understand. They just want somebody else to handle the money for them. Guys, this is the money that you earned, not me, not a financial planner, not a financial advisor. You want to talk to people who can teach you these things before you put more money into it. Mistake number 5 people make with their 401k is not choosing the Roth option. And I learned this the hard way with my TSP. I didn't understand the differences between traditional and Roth TSP, which is basically a 401k, but it's for the government. When I left active duty, I realized all of my money was in the traditional TSP account, so that's all pre-taxed. I'll have to either convert it to Roth, which will trigger a taxable event, or leave it in there and then pay taxes when I start withdrawing at age 59 and a half. Not every employer will offer the Roth option, so make sure you contact your HR to find out if you're able to contribute to the Roth 401k. Personally, I love the Roth option because the money I have in the Roth 401k will grow tax-free. A traditional 401k account will lower your taxes today, but you'll have to pay taxes later. I think our taxes will be a lot higher by the time we retire. So make sure you talk to a CPA to see if Roth is the right option for your tax situation. If you anticipate being in the same or higher income tax bracket during your retirement, then the Roth option might be the best way to go. So with that said, I appreciate you watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one.